Yo, what's up everybody? Guys, I'm back. We got a Friday video. I'm excited, I'm hyped, I hope you're excited. Guys, also, the audio should be fine on this one. Let me know if it's not in the comments. I know that's like a new meme. I messed up the audio and you can only hear in your right ear or something in the previous video. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. Guys, video upload. Let's go! Let's do it. Anyways, we're here to bring you some bad news slash good news, depending on how you look at it, whatever. Mostly bad. But, guys, the Clown Council is finished! That's the good news. It's the end of the Clown Council. The Clown Council is gone! Finally! Finally, they're done. They've thrown in the towel. The bad news is, for a lot of StarCraft 2 people, I have my own personal, subjective opinion about this that I'm not going to go into too much because of very past things that happen in regards to me and some, some dubious casters sending photos to somebody in the past that I had been dating at the time and all this nonsense. I'm not gonna mention that. Anyways, I'm not. Excuse me. I'm not gonna mention all that. But maybe in the future, maybe you guys can ask me about that story sometime. Anyways, guys, ESL, they are discontinuing the StarCraft 2. They're discontinuing the StarCraft 2 EPT tour. I mean, we already knew for the last 8-9 months that this was not happening. They weren't doing the weekly cups anymore. They just kind of stopped, didn't tell anybody, didn't update them. And I'm happy to make this video to explain and go into a little bit because people don't understand. It's 2025 and people still don't get it. They don't get what's happened. They only understand the very surface level. As a streamer and content creator that has I was in the thick of it since 2011. Streaming on Twitch, StarCraft 2, I experienced all the offline and online tournaments. I experienced all the hoopla, all the drama, all the competition, all the good, all the bad. I can give you a little bit more insight as a former professional player, I guess you could say, that used to I used to travel to events. Former pro, or whatever you want to call it, guys. I know people are going to be, you were a pro, oh my god! Whatever. The point is, I can give you my perspective on this. Let's just read it first, though, and then I'll go into that. Today, we're writing to share an important update regarding the future of ESL Pro Tour. It's an incredible journey since 2020. It's not going to continue into 2025 and beyond. Reaching this decision has been exceptionally difficult. Over the years, we had privilege of hosting iconic events, okay? Collaborate with players, fans, community members to celebrate this iconic game. As the industry evolves, maintaining full-scale circuit and vision has become increasingly challenging. Nevertheless, there's still great StarCraft 2 esports moments to look forward to. It's returning to the World Cup, so that's, I guess, one... Guys, what did I tell you guys, by the way? I come back to the game, Avilosoamaze starts streaming StarCraft 2 again, suddenly, StarCraft 2 announcement. StarCraft 2 announcement. Oh, by the way, we're doing the World Circuit, guys. Coincidence? I think not. Just saying. I said it to you guys. I said it to you guys in the last day or two. I said it in the last video. Avilosoamaze comes back to StarCraft 2. Stuff starts happening. I don't know why. Who knows, guys? But, hey, it's happening. Or not happening, rather, now. It's not happening, actually. It's not happening anymore. So, it's going to be the World Cup in Saudi Arabia. Okay, why about the ESL Pro Tour? Why is it ending? It was built with the goal of creating a long-term, sustainable, competitive ecosystem for StarCraft 2. Keep that in mind, guys. The strong start of the circuit was supported by key ecosystem stakeholders, enabling a full-scale Pro Tour environment, providing a sense of stability for all parties involved and esports professionals to dedicate their careers to StarCraft. Keep that in mind, because a lot of the things that I've been telling you guys about streamers and me not being on Twitch is just a small minor drop in the bucket, but overall the whole scene has this issue. If there's no ecosystem, and it's funny they use the word ecosystem because there has to be an ecosystem for tournaments to exist, for players to play, for streamers to stream, for content to grow, for other people to come in. There has to be an ecosystem. Remember that, guys, because if you start removing people from the ecosystem, just like in marine biology, you start removing the algae, you start removing the underwater stuff, you start removing the food chain, suddenly a lot of fish it messes up everything. And it's an analogy for a little bit of what has happened to StarCraft 2. So However, securing long-term commitments to fund multiple events across the year became more challenging with time. Of course it did. Less streamers. You don't have Avilo on Twitch. You don't have so-and-so. Again, I'm not gonna go full ego on this, but I'm just one drop in this metaphorical bucket of things that have been adding up over time. Probably the biggest thing we can say is Blizzard not supporting the game. But again, everything it's a butterfly effect. Everything adds up. As of today, we can no longer maintain comprehensive ecosystem. They keep using I used that word like 50 times in the last like week, trying to explain to people about how it's. Anyways, a year-long circuit feature online live events with high-quality broadcast, comprehensive regional competition, and regular updates, competitive play. Our team is still proud of the role we played in StarCraft 2 over the years. Okay, great. We look forward to seeing talented StarCraft 2 players compete. Okay. Thank you for... Okay, for being a part of this journey. And then they have some stuff here. This is from Carmack, Product Development ESL. Okay, nice message from him. Apollo used to be former Command and Conquer champion from CNC3, and he's a good 0-hour player. He works at ESL as well, looks like. He also played StarCraft 2 for a little bit back when it was new. Okay, thanks for all the continued passion. Great. This guy is a caster. I think he's a Russian caster, if I remember right. Correct me if I forget. Apologies if I got that wrong. He might be a Ukrainian caster. I'm so sorry. I don't keep track of the StarCraft 2 scene that much, but he obviously he's a good caster. Looks like he's saying stuff, the usual. None would be possible with StarCraft fans. I mean, basically, guys, like they're saying thanks, but it's done. That's essentially. But I mean, you can read the messages here on that they posted. Was it solely financial? Let's see here. Oh, and then they just same thing. So yeah, that's it, guys. It's done. And from I believe I read a post somewhere that because ESL, because these were the guys apparently handling the balance patches, now it's done apparently. Again, I guess we'll have to see what is going on with that. But if these guys were the ones that were handling the community patch effort, and they're not going to be involved anymore, then it's done. Protoss is just imbalanced for the rest of the time we play the game, guys, apparently. They're just done. Enjoy as my thumbnail says, we're done. Enjoy Protoss. So I have a lot to say about this. So now that we've read through this, I have a lot to say, guys. Again, I could go into personal anecdotes and stories of some of the negative stuff in the past, just personally. Obviously, it's bad for the entire scene that if this is no longer continued. But, guys, there's going to be people on Reddit, and there's going to be people talking about this, wondering, why? Why are they just continuing? I mean, they said why, basically, it's the I want to really focus on this word that they keep using, that I have been using for a long time. And me personally, obviously, I'm invested in using the word because, for example, me being not on Twitch removes a huge fish or person from the ecosystem of streaming, right? Viewers, streaming, new players find the game from my stream, they play in ESL Cups. It all feeds upon it. It's the ecosystem. It's funny that these guys are using the same words that I am now, or the same exact noun there, ecosystem, describing how it's no longer sustainable. I wonder why. It turns out, and by the way, guys, and again, I don't want to make this just about me because it's not, but again, everybody plays their part in this working ecosystem. Remember, guys, a couple years back when I was on YouTube, we had hundreds of viewers concurrent on YouTube. I hope we get to that point again, honestly. I think we will if I consistently make videos like this and stream. We had 300, 400, 500 viewers on YouTube. When I was playing the ESL Cups, those weekly cups, these weekly cups that are now gone because the ecosystem can no longer sustain it, I was playing in those, giving them 400 to 500 viewers, even here on YouTube. What did they do? They suspended me and banned me over the false allegation stuff. Because the StarCraft 2 community is toxic. in essence. There's a cancer in the StarCraft 2 community of the way that they handle things, the ecosystem. Again. So ESL Cups, this has been something long coming. Like, again, that was years ago. Suddenly I couldn't play. Suddenly that's a huge amount of viewership gone from the ecosystem. And then, of course, less people are interested. And again, not just about me. It's everyone involved. Other streamers, other content creators, other YouTubers, casters. If interest starts to be lost over time because there's less people streaming it, and the very passionate people that are streaming it are removed, and then so there's less money, less people playing it weekly, there's less interest. If there's less viewers in total on Twitch and YouTube across the board, if there's just less, it leads to this like kind of downward spiral of quicksand where less viewers because you remove some people, less streamers, less money in the scene. Now you can't support it. Now even these guys can't even support continuing it because, again, the word I'm going to use again here that they themselves are also now using a lot in saying this is ecosystem. And this is such a big... I could make an entire video just about the StarCraft 2 ecosystem and how right now there is a horrible imbalance in the ecosystem when there's streamers missing from Twitch that, you know, thousands of viewers are basically missing from the ecosystem, as well as many other things. But to have that ecosystem, you also have to have LAN events in real life. Here's another facet of this that again has nothing to do with me. When's the last time you guys saw an open qualifier? I mentioned this in a previous YouTube video when I was talking about going to LANs and stuff previously. When's the last time we have seen a completely open qualifier? Not invite, open. Like where like anybody, little Jimmy or little Sally could sign up and off of their merit and strength and their practice and hard work and passion, they could sign up to the tournament, potentially qualify, and then get a trip to the LAN event or go to like they could qualify. It's been years. ESL made and a lot of these other tournaments started to do invite only. So if you only have Cyril against Clem every single tournament, can you imagine if the only box card ticket high ticket matches are like it's only 2 fighters and that's it? Like the scene, the ecosystem cannot sustain itself. You have to have competitors, you have to have challengers come in and rise up and challenge those players. You can't have only one storyline in terms of the drama of the competition, because within competition there is drama of people competing, succeeding, failing. There's that inherently in competition. There is drama, a form of drama, and that is what makes sports and esports so captivating to watch. Is this guy gonna be able to beat this? Is he gonna be able to qualify? Is he gonna be able to go the distance? But you need invite only. Or you need to not do invite-only tournaments. You need open qualifiers like when the scene started. And it's funny that then people will now say, well, I guess StarCraft 2 has to go the grassroots way now, right? It's not... They're not doing that, though. Like, a lot... How come the last couple years have been, like, mostly invite tournaments? There's been very few, like... I feel like there's been... I've not seen any any new names. It's mostly been, like, the same promoted players, which makes it boring for spectators. And that's another thing that we can go into. Patches, spectators, boring. So, since these guys put pro gamers and streamers that they personally like in charge of the game balance and patches, the game has consistently gotten worse gameplay-wise over the last many years. You'll notice that Protoss currently is just completely broken. Tempests are broken. Like, there's... people can, like, this is just objective, and the thing is, people misconstrue tournament wins with balance. Just because Protoss isn't winning doesn't mean that Protoss is not absurdly broken with the current patch. And it's even worse now because since these guys are no longer going to be involved in StarCraft 2, then there won't be any patches anymore, apparently. And again, maybe in the next week, people will correct me if I'm wrong about that, but from what I understand, ESL is done So the patches that they were spearheading with the Clown Council, as I call it, and some other people call it the Clown Council. So now patches are done. So the game is left as it is. The game is there. It's done. The game is as it is right now. It will stay like that. Protoss will stay in its broken state. Zerg will stay in its broken state. Terran, it will, I guess, be underpowered for a little bit. But again, the thing is, like the average 2 IQ Redditor is just gonna look at tournament wins, and when really balance is a very intricate. It's an intricate thing, at least in terms of StarCraft, between the three races. Win rate does not determine balance. It is, if you make the easiest race, if you buff them too much, and there's only a ladder to play on, it turns out that in the next coming months, you guys are probably going to see, we've already started to see, the ladder is mostly Protoss versus Protoss. Even Protoss players, I think, are getting tired of playing fellow Protoss players. But I guess that's, the game is fairly balanced, but I think Protoss, they're leaving it in a state where Protoss is a little bit too strong in terms of being too easy and to play, especially in the late game with the Tempest buff. I could make a whole video about balance. But yeah, guys, so ESL is done. Yeah, maybe next week I'll make some follow-up videos about the ecosystem, that word that they used here so many times. Ecosystem. I can't say it enough! There has to be an ecosystem. You gotta have Avilo on Twitch with his 500 to 1,000 concurrent viewers. That's part of the ecosystem. You gotta have people streaming the game. Well, not one streamer, not two. You gotta have at least 10 or 20 different streamers streaming the game, all not necessarily collaborating, but all at least giving each other the modicum of respect that we're all trying to make the scene better by putting our passion and time and effort into putting hours playing the game and streaming the game. Right now, that's not happening. What every other StarCraft 2 streamer should be clamoring to get me back on Twitch if they truly believe that the problem is the ecosystem. Because again, you gotta have everybody in the ecosystem. Everybody has to, having one or two huge names in the ecosystem. It starts to snowball. It starts to snowball it in a positive direction. And again, so ecosystem. This is bad because obviously now there's gonna be even less. I mean, the thing is, this has been already missing. They already stopped doing this like months back. They just didn't really say it. They didn't really tell anybody. But now they've come out and say, yeah, we're done, guys. Enjoy Protoss. And with that, leave comments. Let me know what you guys think about this. That the ESL Cups are officially done. They're officially done. And so, I mean, I don't think much changed. We already knew that probably they were done. But let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think about the fact that there's no it's just mostly invite tournaments? And tell me what you guys think about. Do you guys think I'm right about like the ecosystem of StarCraft 2 has a deficiency and it's had it for a while? And I'm not just, again, I'm personally invested in it because again, it sucks for me. Like, I wasn't even able to play in this tournament, in these weekly cups, because they removed me from the ecosystem. But, the final thing that I just forgot to mention, Blizzard. Obviously, to drop my ego for a moment in terms of, or that stuff, Blizzard not being a part of the StarCraft 2 scene in any meaningful manner should also be a huge asterisk here in terms of ecosystem. The company that developed the game, made the game, and no longer they seemingly don't care is the vibe and the PR that's coming off from them, and it has been like that for years. Obviously, that's a huge, maybe even the number one thing, besides streamers, content creation, and everything else that I've just mentioned, the fact that essentially the people that made the creators of the game are no longer with their creation, it's crazy to me on Twitter and social media. Like, Blizzard they don't even mention StarCraft 2. They don't even talk about it. Like, they almost purposely, it feels like they almost purposely try not to talk about it or mention it because it's not bringing in immediate revenue. Well, again, this is a snowball thing. If you don't And I've said this for years, and people hated on me for years. They said, Avlo, you're a hater, you're a balance whiner. But I was, again, guys, I hate to say I told you, but I've said this for many, many years about Blizzard's involvement, how they needed to patch better, how they needed to involve people better. So it's, I mean, it is, now it's coming to fruition, and since that's probably the number one thing, I think, amongst all this, besides all the other ecosystem stuff, the company that made the game is not really hands-on enough or involved enough with StarCraft 2. So there you go, guys. That's the video. ESL is basically saying, we are done. Enjoy Protoss. And I will see you guys in the next video, and I will see you guys on stream on YouTube. Leave likes and comments, and they're done. Enjoy Protoss, guys. Enjoy Protoss. See you guys in the next video.